Welcome to Mamucium Live. Welcome to Mamucium Live, the buzz and the beat of Manchester. It's from our Fallowfield studio with me, Vicky Video. It's an interactive chat show, so if you type in the Facebook or YouTube comments, providing you're watching the live version of this, I can pop them up on the screen and we can interact with them. So please tell us who you are and where you're watching from, and maybe what you'd like to see on the show, because we cover the length and breadth of all the cool stuff happening in Manchester. Here's our theme tune. A few of my friends pop up for a femtosecond in this video of the theme tune. If you spot yourself, please say hello as well.
It's one of the old Roman names for Manchester, you know.
Bringing you Manchester's very best, shining a spotlight on the northwest.
It's Mamucium Live, Mamucium Live.
With your host, Vicky Video, live from our Fallowfield studio. Hey, welcome. Along the bottom, we have got managrams. I said managrams. A managram is a Manchester Anagram. Get a pen and paper. It's scrolling across the bottom. It's Helen's vellum. Can you unscramble the letters and figure out what or whereabouts in Manchester this might be? The first person to unscramble the managram, I have to be careful how I say that, maybe need to think of a better name. The first person to think of to unscramble the managram in the comments wins the final decision on what we should do with Piccadilly Gardens. So it's very important you get this right. What would you choose to put in Piccadilly Gardens? Okay, on today's show, we have got memories of a shaky, snaky, but very beloved roller coaster in Bellevue. And our special guest, she is half human, half glitterball, all awesome, DJ MuMu, aka Maimuna Ndow. So it was the football last night. If you're watching this live, it's Thursday, the 11th of July. If you're not watching it live, this was Thursday, the 11th of July. England got through to the final of the Euros. I know, I'm as surprised as you are. We were in a venue called the Director's Box on Booth Street. I have never been there before. I was so impressed with it. It was like a nightclub crossed with a sports bar. So in fact, to be honest, my ears are still ringing a little bit from it. The venue, I walked in and they were playing all the football songs over an exceedingly high quality sound system. I'm all about the good quality sound systems. I've actually got really good hearing for my age. I did a hearing test. So I can tell whether a sound system is shoddy or whether it's shiny. And the sound system in there last night, it was so clear. And there were hundreds of people in there, everybody celebrating. And just the DJ, who was the DJ? They were brilliant. DJing football songs, brilliant. So I was on hand with my camera and I caught the very loud celebrations. My decibel meter, which I've got on my phone, I was waving that around. I was like, how loud is it in here? And it turns out it was about 105 decibels, which is as loud as a train, or alternatively, when I Googled it, a snowmobile. I am not very acquainted with the latter. So England won their nail biter against the Netherlands 2-1. Yay! To reach the Euro 2024 final. Netherlands struck first, but England equalised with a Harry Kane penalty. Come on, Harry. England dominated the first half with Phil Foden creating chances, but they couldn't convert. Netherlands controlled the second half, forcing saves from Pickford. But then Watkins won it late. Substitute Ollie Watkins scored a dramatic late winner to send England to the final against Spain in Berlin on Sunday. How do you think we're going to do? Would you put 50 quid on it? Do you want to see what it was like? I have got a little short video here of the celebrations. It was wild in there. So this is just a couple of clips, the penalty, post-goal, and also the warm-up and the end of the England v Netherlands match in the Director's Box last night.
It's one of the old Roman.
That's a huge goal. So does the nation. It's for parity. It's Harry Kane.
Yeah, so my ears are ringing. It really was the beat and the buzz of Manchester last night in the director's box. Thank you very much for your hospitality. Must try and book a table there for the final. Speaking of roller coaster rides, which last night's match was, we have got a special on the Bellevue Bobs coming up. Manchester's Bellevue Bobs remains one of the most highly rated, important and revered roller coasters ever to be built in the UK, and I'd never heard of it until a couple of days ago. So just things that are happening around and about in Manchester. This show is for everybody to contribute to. If you've got a venue or an event, if you want to showcase anything that you're working on, please get in touch with me, because we can help publicize your events in a nice, creative way. Hopefully, once the show starts building some momentum to quite a large audience. And one thing that we can do is broadcast this show live from your venue, like a road show. We can do it on a stage. We can have fantastic guests. We can have music. We can do so much stuff with this live stream. So if you want Mamucium Live with me, Vicky Video, very experienced host of content like this, to stream live from your venue, please drop me a line. Something a little bit more sedate and down to earth now. If you are interested in learning about your local history or researching your family history, please visit the family research event at the Coppice Library and Wellbeing Centre, sale on Friday 19th of July. I've got a little flyer here. Here we go. I don't know whether you can actually hear me at the minute. Let's see. So yeah. So that's the event there. It's on this coming Friday, the 19th of July, in Sale, and it's called the Family History Help Day. Another little glimpse of the flyer. So yeah, please get in touch with them if you think that you would like to participate. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And okay. We have got our special guest star, Maimuna. Come on over. This is Maimuna Ndow, aka DJ MuMu. She's come dressed as a glitterball. There we go. Hi, Mai.
Hi. Hi, darling.
We go back quite a long way, don't we?
We do. Our paths have crossed quite a few times.
Yes, they certainly have.
And yeah, because you were in Cholton when I was living at the flats.
Were they the Urban Splash Flats in Cholton? What's the name of that main road?
Is it Barlamore Road?
Barlamore Road.
Barlamore Road, yeah.
So we lived there together, and you were my downstairs neighbour.
I know. It was lovely to be part of that, because it's almost like I always wanted to live in a loft apartment-y sort of thing. So it gave me that sort of feel of that. But it was almost like a new thing for around there, wasn't it? And
they're still beautiful flats, aren't they?
Yeah.
They were so conceptual. I was lucky enough to share the top floor with Emma Goswell, who's a radio journalist from around Manchester. Hi, Ems. Thank you for letting me live with you. Back then, I didn't really know much about housework, but I do now. I'd just like to apologise for that. Because it was we had the top floor ones, and the top floor were double ones with the bedrooms downstairs.
Yeah, so I had a one bedroom, and it was on the ground floor. So the schools used to go past there. Cundiff Road, wasn't it, around there?
Yeah.
And so it got a lot of attention because it was almost like a new thing. So you used to get the kids glaring through the window.
You lived by that big heavy gate as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
I still remember that gate made the noise. the slam of that day.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I was away from that.
Yeah, but very, very stylish design. And Roger Simpson, the architect, was part of that, and he lived in the flats as well.
Oh yeah,
And,
he did.
but he had his like flat tweaked to have, you know, things that he wanted, like a nice, very, very arty, you know, bathroom, and it just looks so different from ours. He put his take on it, didn't he? In a way. So, yeah.
So, did you ever come to one of the parties that we had in that? I had those decks at one of those parties.
you?
Yeah, I did.
I
Yeah,
went to someone's party.
the outdoor one that was in the courtyard.
Yeah, and then someone's house party. I can't remember his name now. Oh God, it was like my brain's gone.
Yes,
But
it was a long
yeah,
time ago.
yeah.
That was before Facebook, so I don't
Yeah.
really have any timeline of anything that happened before Facebook.
No connections.
Do you reckon
from
it was about
there.
20 years ago?
It probably was, you know. A lot of those people probably have like changed over. Different people living there now and moved on.
I would love, because
yeah.
they were Urban Splash, right, weren't they?
Yes, yeah.
So my
yeah.
sister lived in an Urban Splash in Liverpool in the tea factory, and I mean, like, we live in a cute little flat here, me and my boyfriend do, but it's no Urban Splash. They're very conceptual, aren't they?
They are. I thought that like the whole floor to ceiling windows, wide windows, and then the balconies, and they're all a bit like quite sharp, the design.
Very sharp. A bit like living inside IKEA.
It's actually it reminds me of a little, you know, like a hotel feel, you know, that sort of like glamour, bit of glamour sort of thing.
Good at alcoves.
Yeah, good alcoves.
Good at alcoves. I remember my
Yeah.
sister like, that's a very
Yeah.
conceptual alcove there
Yeah.
you've got to shove all your junk into.
I've never seen sort of the stuff that like your wall hung toilet.
A wall hung
your
toilet?
wall hung
Like a picture.
sink.
What's that mean? What's a wall hung
It's
toilet?
actually the workings of the toilet. You know, the systems are actually in the wall.
Oh, right.
So it's like hidden. It's like your loo here. You know.
Oh, I've got
sort
a.
of hidden in the gap.
We have got
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
toilet system is completely obscured behind a panel. I
Yeah.
have got no idea how the hell you're meant to access that other than with a pickaxe.
No.
But if something goes wrong with
Very
it,
true. We should have a little like break in case entry box.
break in case of blockage.
Yeah, sort of thing. But yeah.
So let's have a little chat. So my first of all, I'm going to play your song.
Oh,
You're going to get it twice, right? So I make little. If you come on the show, you get your own tune made.
Aw.
So let's play your little tune that I've made, and then we can talk about who you are. I played it to my boyfriend before, and he just went, "Do you want my personal opinion?" And I went, "No, it's already been made now and rendered." Yeah, so when he said that, I was like, "Oh, but I really like this." So I said, "I don't want your personal opinion, but hopefully mine."
Yeah.
Right. So your DJ name is DJ MuMu.
DJ MuMu. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And
yeah.
I've tried to encapsulate everything you do in about 1 minute 20 seconds.
Oh, wow.
I think where's it gone? It is here. Right, here it comes. Half human, half glitterball with MuMu's music. You're gonna have a ball. Yes, it's DJ MuMu. Oh my, it's DJ MuMu. A proper man lass, the top of the class. She'll make a shake a collective ass when the record's playing. MuMu's slaying along with her dress, and she's hot, just saying. Also, best hats. MuMu. Follow Mai on Instagram. There's her tag. Oh, sugar. Hang on a minute. We've had the microphone on mute. That's such a bugger, that button is. I'm so sorry. You've just been sat here watching us for 3 minutes going,
Hello.
we're back. It's the mute button. I'm sorry. Yeah. I've not dug this equipment out for a while, but what were we talking about? You were talking about how great the song was.
Yeah, the song was brilliant. I love the song. Thank you for the song. Very, very good. Nice little snippets of like what's been happening in my life and my gigs and the different costumes, the different hats.
Yeah, the different
I
dealy boppers.
love doing the hats. It's
There you
like
go, get
I'm
the
a
dealy boppers
hat
in.
person.
So, me too.
And
We'll rock up at a gig together because I am frequently at the front row of Mai's music. Me on my own dancing the minute she comes on at Refuge.
Yeah.
Come on, everybody, get up and dance. And I'll be like, I'll be wearing a bowler hat, and Mai will be wearing a Kangol bowler hat. So it's always like elevated brands with you, Mai.
And it's always like secondhand, like get some cool hats from like Rummage, and I went to Affleck's a couple of months ago, got some cool stuff from there. Always been an Affleck's girl, and trying to almost like always find those unique bits of stuff to wear. I've almost got like this fashion mojo that I've gone through stages where I've lost my fashion mojo, but now I've got it back. It's almost like hence the glittery shirt and the zany boppers, and just wearing stuff like corsets, and I've got, for instance,
hang on a minute. Let's have a croc off.
Crocs.
We're gonna have a croc off. Who's got the best croc? Mine's a black platform, but mine are limited edition silver. I don't know who's. Imagine those in silver.
I know you can get the different colours, but it was just the wedge. I just thought, you know what? It's got a nice big wedge. You have to watch your neck when you're walking around in them.
Yeah, I tried them on and instantly went over.
Break your ankles.
Not for me. A bit too towering for me. So, Mai, so you are a Mancunian girl through and through. Tell us about your roots and your career then.
Mancunian of African origin. Parents from the Gambia, the smiling coast of Africa. They came over in 1963 to find work. My mum, she didn't work for a while, but she had us kids. And my dad was working at this factory called Turner's in Trafford Park. It was an asbestos production factory. So there's a lot of stories that have come out of that. And then he
had a lucky escape, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. There's a lot of people who worked there didn't. And then he went on to work at Princes Road Depot, which is on Main Road. So now that's got like a block of apartments there. So so he was a mechanic. And then Mum eventually she decided she wanted to work after we had got older.
How many brothers and sisters have we got?
So one brother, one sister. My brother's not around anymore. Sister's in Leeds. So he's watching. There's a lot of things that have come from my brother that made me become the DJ. Finding his records when sorting through his.
What was he called?
Aliu.
Aliu.
Ali.
Thank you for the music, Ali.
Yeah. Some cultures. And then Mum did catering. She was working at Yew Tree College, now Arden College. Now I don't know if it's changed its name, but then she wanted to take it further when she was working at Fielding Park College, and then did her City and Guilds in catering because she was stock control person, sorting out the ingredients for the students. She met Jamie Oliver. She met what's his name? The guy that owns Greens. I've forgotten his name. But yeah, Andrew Rimmer.
Andrew Rimmer,
who owned Greens in Didsbury.
Okay.
So a lot of things that come from my mum and dad, almost like the pioneering spirit of like arriving in a different country, creating something new, being involved, interacting. We lived in Wythenshawe, which we had an amazing upbringing there, because it's always got this element where, Wythenshawe this, Wythenshawe that. And I always say to people, if we hadn't lived in Wythenshawe, we wouldn't have had the drive to do different things, and getting the drive from the family through came to the UK. So I've always had that in my genes, and it's been like what's made me in a way, doing a lot of things that was the first one of many, creating things and, you know, working in pharma. So like,
You weren't a farmer.
no,
You were pharmaceuticals.
I'd love to be a farmer one day. Maybe that's the next thing. Pharmaceuticals, AstraZeneca, pharmaceuticals, working at Alderley Edge. Used to commute, used to get the train, the bus. So it's like crazy. And
What
then
were you actually doing there?
in the laboratory? So they had a production site of making different products. So after the products we made, they sent them to the labs, and then we did like a randomized sample, and then we had to do different tests to make sure that they fitted within the specification limits, to make sure it's almost like a test that they were making it correctly in a way, rather than like poisoning people. It's another story. So a lot of things, like from the knowledge of working there, moved around different pharma places after working at Alderley. I worked at Macclesfield Works, which is in Macclesfield, and then probably 18 years working in that side of the industry. Then eventually it was like, worked at Sanofi, too much commute, 50 miles a day. Like, oh my God, burnout. And then, yeah, serious burnout. I thought, you know, you need to change your life. You can't drive 50 miles a day.
That's way too far.
Way too far. So edged out, started working for John Lewis at the Disbury Towers, which is near Fletcher Moss Gardens. And then that's like a centralised admin area for, you know, the orders of the John Lewis customers. And that was around the corner. That was like, yeah, spitting distance, basically. So it worked. And then I suppose I was at John Lewis, and then, you know, thought, you know what, I want a bit more than this now. And I've done the move. So I applied for jobs, and then went and got this job at ITV, which was to do with the talent and royalties and the finance department. So
cool.
Making sort of like looking at the different films and royalties for the different programs and films, and then almost like calculating out how much you owe each of these individuals or different companies.
Oh, is that how it works?
Back.
Someone like you with the calculator.
So yeah. Spreadsheet city. It was.
Oh, what my ex-boyfriend was here yesterday, and he was this is a very poor anecdote that I'm not even remembering. He said, I've got a spreadsheet mug with rows and columns on it. I think it said at work, his mug says freak in the sheets.
Freak in the sheet. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like that thing where too much freaking in the sheets. It's sort of like, you can only do it for so long. Well, I felt I can only do it for so long now, because, you know, when you get older and your focus change, and it's almost like it becomes a bit of a overwhelming thing, all these facts and figures. So that's when I thought, well, it was almost like going into the creative side of things. So that's when I applied for Factory International. And then I was doing their managing creative projects course.
That's so cool.
Yeah, which was so cool. It was an online, because it was during like self-isolation, so they were doing it online. So had some really good tutors, and they're still there. The Factory Academy. Hi, Factory Academy.
Could I do that, do you think?
You could do, you know, they do like lots of different courses. They do like the behind the scenes ones where you could be a rigger, you could be setting up the tech. They did something to do with the, you know, radio and digital production. Social media was another. So they do like 2-week courses, or they do 8-week courses. So it's almost like I'm using that project management learning to apply to the DJ side of things. And it's really helped in, you know, keeping it sort of flowing and organised in that way, sort of thing.
Really? You've got to be organised to be a DJ.
Yeah. I've got like files on my computer.
Yeah, you have. Look, she's got notes.
Little folders of all the places I've played at, including all the photos, the actual email interaction between each. It's like,
so you're a good, organised, reliable DJ.
Yeah, I am. And sometimes I think I could be better, because I seem to be less organised and on it as what I used to be. So maybe it's like I was overly doing it, you know, but I have this thing where I can sit on things for a while. I'm like, oh, I'm going to ignore that. So sometimes I do need that kick up the bum to say, you need to just get back to that, pick up that thread and carry on with that hot lead, and, you know, do things like that more, really. So learning like yeah, need to do some stuff like that. But it's almost like a do in the end,
She
sort of
does.
thing.
She
Does.
does. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, that's a brilliant
Mm.
foundational history. Because to be honest, I don't know much about. I never really drilled people back about their history, and it's. I was like, let's talk about. I'm quite a random conversationalist, so that's all news to me.
It is, because it's almost like we always get together. There's quite a few of our friends. We all get together. We listen to music. We eat. We chat, and then sometimes it's almost like people wonder, oh, how did it? How did that happen?
Yeah.
And it's almost like sometimes we bypass that, and it's almost like I'd love to know. I know a bit more about you. So I know, like, because I used to drive to Frodsham.
Did you?
On the way to Sanofi, when I had to almost like find a more interesting route than going down the M6, but I don't know everything about you, so it's one of those things that we probably need to like do more of this. And
yeah, we do.
You have the nitty gritty.
You can interview me next time.
Yeah.
I've got a brother and a sister. Je beat along the Nordwest along the Terre. It's basically the kind of stuff that's like French GCSE level of brothers and sisters. And what do your mum and dad do? And what pets did you have?
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like, what's your favourite song?
What pets did you have?
Yeah.
Did you have pets?
I had goldfish. We used to have the fair at Wythenshawe Park, so I won a goldfish, and I actually went on this horrendous fairground ride.
We're going to talk more about fairground rides in a minute.
It was like they were playing this song, which will always stick in my mind. It's called "Get Up and Boogie." Get up and boogie.
I don't know that one.
But it was just like I was screaming my head off, and that's right. I have been on fairground rides since, Alton Towers and stuff, but I've never really enjoyed it. I'm trying to get over the fear. Been on the pirate ship, and
the pirate ship.
It's a really fierce ride, and I'm like, why am I doing it again? I'm like, that first time should have told you.
Well, we're going to come in a minute to the history of the Bellevue Bob's roller coaster in a little bit once we finish grilling Maimuna about her. Well, let's talk about your how you got in. Now, I have danced to my a lot. I am frequently right at the front of your gigs because your music is like my music and then some.
Yeah.
You play the stuff I know and love, and then you play loads of new stuff that, well, not new, good old and good new stuff I've never heard before. So like, I'm a big fangirl, mate, a big fangirl. I am shocked to find out that she's only been doing it for 2 years. Shocked, especially with your CV, which is really impressive.
Yeah, I'm actually like, God, I'm learning so much about myself, because it's almost like, when you were growing up, you do your mixtapes, you do your cassette tapes, and you almost do like your playlist, don't you? And so that's like a little bit of a start of DJing. But then it's almost like as I got my first gig, I volunteered my services. It's always good to do that. You get your experience, you get like this rewarding feel. And there's Globe Cocktail and Kitchen and Cocktail in Charlton, and they were closing down. It's one of my favourite eateries, so I decided, like, put yourself out there and see if you can DJ. So I said to Lauren, I love your place.
Oh,
I'm so sad
is
you're
it gone
going.
now?
It's gone now. And yeah, she had some lovely knickknacks from her travels, like the globe, the suitcase, the tiki sort of like vases, and it was just like that place. The food was amazing. So I said to Lauren, can I DJ for you? And you're closing, love to do it. And she was like, oh yeah, that'd be so good. And it was like a baptism of fire. There was like ups and few downs. And I had to go home to get my stuff. And there was like my friend Ali, and there was Richard Caton and Emma. And they were there. They supported me, they helped me, and it got me through the night. And it was like really good for me to do that. It's my first live performance. The floor was literally bouncing with the people. They had those floorboards that were bouncing, and it was like packed out, and they sort of like locked us in.
Was that on Barlamore Road?
And it was on Barlamore Road, near where the drop-in is, the Caribbean places.
I'm wondering whether I've danced there actually a couple of years ago. And it's like got the glass window with the DJ in the front, was it?
I'm
glass
thinking
window.
now,
All
like,
windows are glass.
If it was, is it called the Indian? Was it where the Indian Affair restaurant
Maybe.
is.
They all come and go so quickly.
Yeah, they've changed a lot around there, haven't they? But yeah, that's my favourite bit of Charlton as well. That little strip on Manchester Road near the diving club.
Oh, yeah.
I quite like
Ah.
the funkiness of it. And yeah, so that was
love
like
Charlton.
that, and volunteered for the Hume Community Garden Centre. They had a potato day. That potato day was so cute because it's almost like the beginning of the potato season when there's different varieties of potatoes and they do a celebration of it. And then there was a kids bit where they were doing like different carvings in the potatoes. They had like Ziggy Stardust. They had like, I can't remember, Mr. Ben. All the kids had just carved these little faces and put colours, and it was just nice. So I brought my decks. By then I got like cases for my turntables. So I was able to sort of like live around the corner. So turntables in the cases, took them round to Human Community Garden Centre, set them up, and spent the afternoon DJing. And it's lovely feeling, lovely day. And it's got a good vibe there because it's like it's grown now. It's almost like since then they've had the Green Island Festival. So on the back of doing that volunteering for Potato Day, I got asked back to do the Green Island Festival. So last year, Green Island Festival in June, and the forest stage, lovely cool tree sort of corner of the garden centre, and it's just a really good setup, and it's grown so much. And I'm going to try and get tickets probably for the July? Yeah, 27th of July, I think, is the next Green Island Festival event. So that's always a good one that I like to go. And it's facing Kim's Kitchen as well. It's
I love that venue.
Favourite place. The
Great food.
food. It's brilliant.
Actually, Kim's Kitchen, if you're listening, I would really like to do an event from there.
Yeah.
That would be
That's
brilliant.
the thing, food and music. I just feel like there is a connection between food and music. So I love to DJ where there's food, a food element in there. It's almost like that balance of the music, the tones, the tunes, and the type of food. It's almost like it brings like a feeling of ambience for the people who are in there, the diners and stuff. And I do like that sort of. Yeah, that sort of interaction. Yeah,
good luck. You really are plugged into Manchester.
The science of it.
Do you know what? Here's something that I've discovered. Have you got Spotify at home?
I have, yes.
Yeah, Spotify seems to be the best way to do it. If you're eating a Chinese takeaway, or you've cooked a Thai meal at home, or any nationality of food, you're having some Mexican or some Spanish tapas, you go on Spotify and you put on Spanish restaurant playlist. You put on Chinese restaurant playlist, and it's all the ones that the restaurants all over the world will be using. And we did it especially in lockdown when you obviously couldn't get out to eat, but it makes your brain go into like this mad little I'm actually in the restaurant.
Oh, wow.
It brings so much to
ambient sort of thing.
Next time you cook a Thai meal, put a Thai restaurant takeaway. It's always on Spotify.
I might do African. Because it's almost like I made Bernachin the other day, which is like I say it's like a bit like paella.
I want it
in a way, but with Scotch bonnet. And I was driving around here in rush home. I went to Clarendon Road. I went to Ayers Road looking for Scotch bonnet peppers at 9:30 in the evening. None of them had it, and I thought, what's going on here? My favourite grocery shop on Ayers Road wasn't open.
I know the one you mean. There's some good ones there.
The huge one. And I thought, why is it shut at 9:30? I thought 24/7 city. What's happened? And I ended up coming around here, and there was like worldwide. I got like some peppers, but I don't know. I think I need to put more because it wasn't that hot. But that was like my thing the other day, cursing like I couldn't find Scotch bonnet peppers.
Showbiz story. We went round to Maimuna's for Sunday lunch a couple of months ago, and it was so perfectly traditional English, except there was Scotch bonnets in the mash. She couldn't resist it.
I know that little added ingredient that's like
So, I've got to thank Maimuna for this setup here because Mai had we played it was like Sunday lunch and music, and she had her decks out, and we were playing some vinyl, and I was like, these are my Technics, which have been under the bed for nigh on 20 years, give or take. They've been gathering so much dust. My records are filthy. Every single one I've got to wipe because they've been stored at my friend's flat, and he lived on the crossroads in Chorlton, and he had like single glazing windows, and I think all the traffic fumes have come in over the years, and all of the dust. So every record, anyway, I've got dirty records, and the decks were in a really dilapidated state, and I was going to flog them. I thought, I'm never going to play them again.
No. That's when we had that chat, didn't we?
Yeah, went round to Mai's,
like,
Scotch bonnet mash, trying to play records whilst drinking loads of milk.
Yeah. It was that, wasn't it? I know.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to resurrect the vinyl.
Yeah, I'm so glad you did.
Yeah, thanks, Mai. So thank you. So they've been
amazing. So, and you're actually adding, aren't you?
Yeah.
I started off with the like your normal Pioneer sort of like turntable, and then went on to the reloops.
Reloops?
They're like
Are they your Technics?
Yeah, they're like Technics. And then the mixer I've got is the new map, but then I've got a Pioneer XDJRR something, like one of those controllers. I thought, you need to upskill, you need to invest in yourself, so learn that. So that's my little play thing at the moment, and but I'm on strictly vinyl.
Strictly vinyl. Strictly vinyl, are you?
Well, I did like a couple of CDJ events. I did one at Plattfield's Market Gardens.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, for their barbecue and beers event. So I had a quick crash course of an hour or so at a friend Lucy's, and then on the day we were all there. We all helped each other. But it was just a good thing to learn. And now, like, I've gone through and had some like training with like the School of Electronic Music, which they're really cool people to almost like to learn about different bits of kit. It could be your digital, it could be your vinyl, it could be like some of these like fancy music-y innovator things that you can get. And you can like, the Focusrite to record your sets, that sort of thing. So they're very good at that. So not totally strictly vinyl, but I do prefer, it's the authenticity of having that music history and digging and finding your selection in, record shops, King B Records, Sifters. You can order on Discogs, you go to charity shops, you can get some good ones. And then it's almost like the actual equipment is musical history as well. Turntables are like, from gramophones, aren't they? So it's like years of history, isn't it? That we're actually using the things that have been produced from those moments in time. And that's where the musical history comes in as well. Like, those tunes that are there, that are still there, that, the digital people, not saying digital people, but people sample these original tunes from the original vinyl. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like this is the stuff that where they've taken the samples from. So that's almost like that sort of history.
Yeah, when you're playing an old bit of vinyl and suddenly there's like that 2 seconds of wait a minute, Fatboy Slim made $1 million out of that little bit.
Yeah, that's true. That Johnny Cash song, but the Fatboy Slim, those sort of things.
What Johnny Cash song was that?
Oh God. So Fatboy Slim did a sample of a Johnny Cash song. Is it
wonder whether it was like Rockefeller. No, it wouldn't have been Rockefeller Skunk, would it? I wonder what it was.
God.
There you go. Right. Who didn't know the answer?
Senior moment.
But unfortunately, we can't play any clips of you DJing because we get copyrighted. Facebook and YouTube know if you're playing music, so you're just gonna have to show us some vinyl instead, and you're gonna have to imagine. So give us a. So I'm gonna say that your style, what I really like was the pop that you play, because not enough DJs play pop songs.
It's almost like the energetic, vibrant, happy. Not always happy. I always like a bit of doom and gloom in between, not doom and gloom, but bringing it down.
She plays The Cure.
The Cure. Radiohead.
So let's have
So like, this is some of the stuff that I got from King B. So I've got the jam.
Let's have a look. There
The
we
jam, Eton Rifles.
Eton
What a
Rifles.
tune.
Yeah, there
Brilliant
you go.
Tune.
So this is a couple of tunes that you might expect in one of my sets.
And then we've got like Special AKA, Too Much Too Young. That's a classic.
You might have to play that to me in a minute.
Nice sleeve there. Erasure.
Yes, you know I love Erasure.
One of my favourite bands.
Are they?
Yeah, I went to see Erasure when it was GMEX, and it's now called Manchester Central, and it was a great concert. And that's how it's almost like when I went to college, because I didn't go to uni, I went to Stockport College, and I met some amazing people, and we did such amazing things. So we went to see some like Status Quo and the Saw Doctors, and we also went to see Erasure, and that was
beautiful
great. So
band.
like,
I've got to say, I just need to pick a bone with my brother. He shamed me for years for listening to Erasure because he was going out night clubbing and listening to Paul Oakenfold and Sasha, and he used to really come down hard on me about Erasure. But I'm taking that back now.
God,
I'm reclaiming that.
Yeah, some great tracks from Got this Toto Africa, which is like a good one. Look at this, Lamal.
That is
Only for Love.
That's a great.
Kajagoogoo, Lamal.
Oh yeah, Too Shy.
Yeah, and then I suppose like I've got a bit of like Hugh Masekela, Lady, Crystal Gale, which I was like the slowest, not always the fastest. Talking in Your Sleep by Crystal Gale.
Oh, lovely.
And then a bit of punk, really. I love my punk. So Buzzcocks, Never Fall in Love with Someone.
Brilliant.
Never Fall in Love with. And then you've got Drowning in Berlin by the Mobiles. That's a bit of punky. But then I've got a bit of like Pass the Dutchie on the left hand side. Pass the Dutchie.
Brilliant.
And then classic Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight. With that drum section from Phil Collins, that was amazing. That, and then I've got Ian Jury.
I love Ian Jury.
Hit Me With Your Rhythm.
Love that. Love it.
And then I've got this like it's a favourite one. It's a bit of an unusual record. The Hall & Oates Out of Touch Square record. So you think, oh my God, how the hell? Sorry for swearing. How am I going to play that? And it is like you just find the outer bit, and and it sits on the grooves. You can see the grooves. It's a classic like shape.
I don't know whether we've got it here. I think it might be somewhere in here. A while ago we found the thing, and they had them. They still should have them. They're vinyl postcards.
Right.
And it was rectangular. It was the same concept as that square thing.
Yeah.
It was a vinyl postcard with the sounds of London on it.
Yeah.
So you put it on your record player, this very transparent thing, but it was a postcard that you could write on, but it also had transparent vinyl.
Wow.
And it was all like the sounds of the Tower of London. And
I found like there's sites that's probably like they've been around for ages, but websites that you can make your own vinyl.
Really?
Yeah, you could probably get your track list straight onto a vinyl record. Probably get a nice sleeve, and then that's your personalised copy, really. I suppose. Yeah. They probably like they stamp it, the grooves.
That's fabulous.
That's fabulous. But the whole kit and everything. It's almost like it's been like just a beautiful thing to have. I think like from trying to find my feet with work and Factory International and the Academy, and trying to step out of the corporate world into the creative world. I've almost like always had that creative.
I think I want to do the reverse at the minute. I want to go into the corporate world. Someone give me a job, please.
It is a bit of corporate though. I think like
I've never done corporate.
Yeah, I'm doing a bit of the cinema advisory group. I suppose that's a bit of corporate, and that's with the independent cinema office, like a steering group. So that gives me that part of the brain. But I'm almost like wanting to do more of the finding my gigs, linking up with different venues to almost like get some bookings. And that was like when I did We Invented the Weekend, the Media City Festival. I I had been doing the charity supermarket at Media City last year.
Wow, Mai, you're so connected.
And there's like Elsa from the Living Room Dance Club. Met her a couple of times, and she's been really supportive. And from that, it's almost like the steps. You get like little bits where you do something, and then it sort of like grows into something else. You're picking up the baton and continuing it. So I got in touch with We Invented the Weekend. Said, you're on this year. Your festival's on this year. Can I come and DJ for you? And it goes on from there, really. And then they said they'll book you for the Plaza stage.
Wow.
An hour and a half set outside the Lowry, theatre. And then the next thing they're ringing you up and say, we've got a slot. Do you want to do the boat? Do you want to do the canal boat cruise?
Oh, that's so good.
The Media City customers.
Oh, blimey,
the Media City staff. And that was just like, what do I say? They said, do it on digital. Do I say yes or no? So I said yes.
Good.
And I thought, I'll learn it later.
Right, Mai. So scrolling along the bottom, Mai's got a couple of gigs coming up. How do we book you, Mai?
So you can book me by messaging me on Instagram. So the message facility on Instagram.
Yeah.
So my Instagram tag is at DJ _MuMu.
I'll put that in the. Well, I'll play your song again in a minute.
45.
Oh yeah, sorry, I interrupted you right in the middle of that.
DJ _MuMu.
Let's just put it on here.
45.
Right, so it's at DJ MuMu _45.
So DJ _
Oh right, okay.
MuMu _45. So
there you
that's
go.
my tag on Instagram.
There you go. So if you want to book
message me on there.
There you go. Find her on Instagram.
Find me on Insta.
Right, we're going to play your song, and we're going to play your song, and then we're going to chat about Supernature, and then we're going to come to the Bellevue Bobs, which was one of the world's best roller coasters at the time. So, first of all, let's just chat about Supernature. You may want to buckle your belt extra tight because you'll be dancing your pants off at Supernature this coming Saturday, playing at Band on the Wall. We've got a little flyer for them.
Gig or an
let's have a look at the little flyer I've got for them here. Where is it? It's here. So
10 till 3.
10 till 3. That's nighttime, isn't it?
Nighttime on.
So who are the Supernature crew, Mai?
So this is BB.
Hi, BB.
And Rich V. Or Richie B.
There's
Carol and Richard, I know them as.
Yeah, and Rob Jones. Hi, Rob.
And Rob Jones.
Who's this other
chap?
chap?
Oh my God, this is
Who's
James.
It's
James Greenwood.
James. Hi, James. I see you at the gig every time, but I actually don't know your name. So pleased to meet you, James.
So I've known them for a few years. I've always been on the other side watching them. Now it's almost like I'm part of all the DJ world in that way. So this year they played at Green Island, and I saw them last time at the Supernature at Joshua Brooks, which was a good day.
That's always a very good afternoon. A great way to ruin your bank holiday Monday, going to Supernature.
Afternoon disco. I'm feeling that I prefer afternoon gigs now.
Me, I love it.
I just love going out in the afternoon.
It's nice to see people in the daylight.
Yeah, it is. It's a totally different vibe. And then you go home in the evening, you can carry on, your own little party.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's just like, I just want to do more afternoon disco things.
Right, let's organise one.
If anyone wants a collab, let's do an afternoon disco.
I would love that. It's nice. It's nice. Yeah. Right. Well, okay. So that has been DJ MuMu.
Thank you.
Maimuna Ndow. Please get in touch with her because she's very up and coming on the Manchester social scene. Very impressive that you've only been doing it for 2 years. But I'll play your song once more because I like it.
Thank you, darling.
There we go.
Half human, half glitterball with MuMu's music. You're gonna have a ball. Yes, it's DJ MuMu. Oh my, it's DJ MuMu.
A proper Manc lass, the top of the class. She'll make a shake a collective ass when the record's playing. MuMu's slaying, along with her dress, and she's hot, just saying. Also, best hats. MuMu, MuMu,
follow Mai on Instagram. There's her tag.
Aw.
Little shout out to the KLF there.
Oh, yeah.
Justified and Ancients of
Yeah,
MuMu.
Ancients of MuMu. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's like, I love that sort of KLF. That's a couple of KLF tracks in my vinyl.
That's so cool.
So brilliant. Yeah, 3 AM Eternal.
Oh, beautiful piece of music.
Yeah, such good stuff. And then I also like stuff like, I don't know, like, I suppose like, and to grow, I need to grow some of the more of the Manchester side of the, you know, Happy Mondays. I don't know, but it's almost like I only go for what I feel that I want to, you know, that's there. Sorry, I'm waffling now.
Right, I need to talk. We're coming. Yeah, take some water. I'm going to talk about some Manchester history now. So thank you so much, Maya. It's been a pleasure.
Okay.
And when this show's finished, we're going to see if we can get these decks working and play some music. Mike can give me my own little private DJ set, and you're not invited. You'll have to go and see her. Thank you, Mai. So back to earth now. Thank you very much. Now for some Manchester history. I have been in the past before I nearly killed myself at Alton Towers once. Very painful story when I went on all the roller coasters first thing in the morning. A, before the rubber wheels had warmed up, and B, before there was actually anybody in the roller coasters. So I sat at the front on all the roller coasters on my own. I think I'd gone upside down something like 20 times by midday. And I got off the roller coasters and my head had swelled to the size of a pumpkin. And I've never been on a roller coaster since. But before that, I was quite the roller coaster aficionado, which is why I am a bit obsessed, as they say, with the Bellevue Bobs. It popped up on my Facebook just a couple of days ago, and I did live in Gorton once, and I had no idea that at the Bellevue, was it the Bellevue Gardens? I might have that wrong there, I'm sorry. But certainly at the Bellevue Showground, Fairground, there was one of the world's best roller coasters there, and I've researched it and I am smitten with it. If you remember the Bellevue Bobs, please drop it in the comments. I want to know your memories of it. Some people say Death Trap, but after researching it, I think it was designed to give the Death Trap experience. It was designed by Frederick Church. He lived from 1878 till 1936. He was an American engineer, an early roller coaster designer. He's most famous for his Bobs series of roller coasters that featured severe banking, steep drops, and non-stop action. He designed roller coasters all over the world. So the thing that made the Bellevue Bob stand out is that it was a wild wooden beast. It had an unpainted structure, so it had this stark contrast to the usual brightly coloured rides, looked incredible against the flat Manchester skyline. It gave it a menacing yet iconic presence. So the Bobs in Bellevue had the title of the world's fastest roller coaster for a period. That's quite something, reaching a thrilling 61 miles an hour. I still think that's pretty quick. You try running into a wall at 61 miles an hour. In the 1920s, this was a heart-stopping experience. The Bobs, it just wasn't fast, though. It was a brutal assault on the senses. Unlike smooth, modern loops, the Bobs threw riders into a chaotic world of twists, drops, and inversions that defied gravity. Imagine a roller coaster designed by a mad scientist. So the 80-foot climb to the top was just the beginning. The descent was a mind-bending experience, plunging riders sideways at insane angles and subjecting them to G-forces exceeding 400 pounds. It was a wild ride, not for the faint of heart. The Bob's rough and unpainted look led to a reputation for being unsafe, but despite its popularity, it faced criticism for the older Death Trap vibe. However, accidents were very rare and the Bobs remained a beloved attraction for generations. Sadly, age caught up with the Bobs and she was demolished in 1977, the year I was born. So I must ask my mother if she ever rode it whilst I was in vitro. You never know. So I've got a little Bobs song here, because I like to make songs about everything. Also, I do song challenges. You can challenge me to make a song on any subject, and hopefully I will come up with the goods. And on this little song that I've made here, you can see some of the imagery of the menacing roller coaster.
The Bobs of Bellevue, a monstrous delight, a racer in wood, a master of fright, designed by a legend, the thrill seeker's dream. 3 shillings and 6pence, the price of a scream. Twist and turn and shout and shake, climb aboard the switchback snake. Twist and turn and shout and shake, a record-breaking racing snake.
To quote an article from the European Coaster magazine, an artist created this one. The profile from where I stood could have been drawn by the sweep of a pen or a paintbrush. An old master in the sky. No Dali creation could match this.
Let's
The
ride.
bobs of Bellevue, a mountain of fear, turning and banking, riders too scared to cheer. Design was a classic, a wild horse of a ride. 3 shillings and 6pence, and you're terrified. Twist and turn and shout and shake, climb aboard the switchback snake. Twist and turn and shout and shake, a record-breaking racing snake.
Do you remember the Bellevue Bobs? Drop your memories in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, obviously, this show is all about promoting the up and coming things in Manchester, but also Manchester's history. So if you've got any memories of the Bobs, please let me know. Drop it in the comments. I can't imagine how cool it would be if that thing was still here. Bring it back. Resurrect the Bobs. Just a little shout out every Saturday afternoon from about 5 p.m. onwards. We've got a little drumming club in Fallowfield Park. There's usually between about 3 and 8 to 10 of us, but we've got a brilliant little WhatsApp group. And Jordan brings his cowbells, Mirek, Gordon, and the others, Diego, and I'm trying to think of some of the others. Emmanuel. Hopefully, me and him are going to be making some music soon. My partner in crime. So just bring some percussion, or we've got some spare. Do they have a big load of drummers in Alexandra Park?
Yeah, they do.
It's quite a lot of people, is it?
It's at like a Sunday.
Is it loads of them?
Yeah, our friend
Lima. Hi, Lima.
And I met another lady called Elaine who said she knows Lima from there. So it's almost like it's grown and stuff.
So loads of people do it in Alexandra Park, but there's only a very, very proto group at the moment doing the drumming in Plattfields Park. So yeah, it's really good. I've made new friends. It's good. It's really, really good. And Jordan's cowbells. Mwah. I tried to get a video on here, but it wasn't. Bring maracas. Yeah, I've got my little shell shakers there. I actually take a microphone because I'm not great at percussion. I take a microphone and I sing and I freestyle. Yeah. That's what I do. So with thanks to Maimuna, DJ MuMu, for coming on the show. Please share this video. Please get involved. We need contributors. We need filmmakers. We need Manchester's groovers and shakers, sponsors, venues. Send me a DM. Let's get this show on the road. We are very much in our infancy with this Mamucium, old name for Manchester. If you're wondering where the heck I got this weird word from, if you want to get involved with the show, please do, because hopefully it's just going to grow and flourish. Viewership is going to build. Sponsors, we're going to have ad breaks. We can do it live from your venue. I am a very long-serving professional broadcaster, and we can make your venue or your event famous. So please do get in touch with me and let's have some fun and make some creative content. Thank you very, very much. It has been a pleasure. Share this video. Share it with your Manchester friends, comment on it, get involved. It's an open house for everybody to come and play on Mamucium Live. I've been Vicky Video. Thank you very much for your time. Over and out.